Hello YouTube, this is Remithefauxenix, logging in as Zoidberg. Oh, you can't see him. Zoidberg. Um, Minecraft, of course. This is a new series I'm starting. It's not going to be a regular series, it's kind of like a progressive updating series, you know. Basically, we're going to try and build a map. And it's going to be a several part map, but right now I'm doing what I think is going to be one of the biggest parts. And for anybody who's ever seen, well, for anybody who's into anime, one of the most famous and well-regarded animes or anime studios is Studio Ghibli. And Miyazaki, I think he does a lot. I'm not sure quite what his title is, but he's credited for making a lot of their movies. Um, and so I thought it would be a cool idea to make a map based off of one of those movies. And so we're going to go with the castle in the sky, Laputa. Now, as you can see, I have this overgrown area. Um, this, if anybody's seen the movie, there's a castle in the sky. It's floating in the sky. There's a giant storm always around it, so it's impossible to find. Nobody's found it, and then, you know, the adventure is that they get onto it, and it holds boundless treasure. But when they get there, all the people are dead. And it's not like they're dead and like their bodies are still there. It's they've been dead for a while. It's kind of like an ancient city, kind of like a reverse Atlantis. Instead of sinking into the ground, they rose into the air and disappeared, kind of a thing. But when they get there, the only things that are there are the overgrown city and these guys. And I know that these guys are iron golems from Minecraft, but they actually look a lot alike with the Studio Ghibli's. I guess they're golems in that too. They're kind of like robots um, that the people of Laputa created to help them as protectors, as they're not really the slave race, but they're definitely the they were, I believe they were like treated as though they had feelings. You know, they weren't just slaves, kind of a thing, but they were. It's kind of hard to explain. But anyway, the you can go online, just Google search Laputa, Laputa, I believe. Um, don't quote me on that spelling, but I believe. And you'll see pictures of them, references. And I'm going off a couple different ones, and it's really hard because the movie, I've noticed, actually changes some of the basic structure. Like, when they first get to it, they're on a ring that is way, 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 way out on the outskirts, right? It's kind of like a crenellation, almost, on this outer ring that spans the city, kind of like a wall. And then later in the movie, they're kind of at the center of the castle, and you don't see those rings. And, you know, it can be credited that they are either higher up rings or lower down, etc., etc., but it the castle seems to change throughout the movie. There are many different versions of the castle and drawings, even that Studio Ghibli has published as official drawings of Laputa, or maybe it was Miyazaki who did. But this is the first mock-up I did. This was just kind of like a trial run. I hadn't looked at any pictures. I was just going by memory. I remember kind of having white marble-ish walls. So I used quartz and kind of a terracotta roof. So I used brick, and it's overgrown. And this circle of wood here isn't just to keep these guys in. In the movie, there's a giant, giant tree um, that is kind of sustaining force. It's linked to the sustaining force. It's linked to like a crystal. Um, I believe it's linked to the crystal. Anyway, the giant. This would be the giant tree. Now, this is the one I'm currently working on. But let's go to this one because this one is the second one I worked on just to see if I could get like the walls to look right and if sandstone would be a better um, material. And it turns out I didn't really like the sandstone. I used quartz on the main room again and kind of did it the same as I did down there. Overgrown and stuff, and made some wall decals, you know. I kind of want this to be a PvP map, and this is actually small in comparison to the scale that I'm going to have it. That one down there is bigger than this one, and that one is just going to be the side for this part, this area here, this building. And if you look up the flying castle, there's actually 3 of these outer rings. And this one should actually be a little bit wider if we were going to scale, but I wasn't. It was just a concept draft again. There's the castle, there's like the residence, then there's like a trade. Actually, no, then there's the farms, and then there's like a trade market or lower residence. You know, it's kind of tiered. And each one has a wall. And I was trying to get, because they're kind of, you know, oh, I didn't put it on this one. They're kind of, you know, those clay buildings that are all linked together. I forget where in the world those are. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Go away. Okay, and it's just one of those styles, you know, and I decided to use, I didn't really want to use glass unless it was like royal kind of a thing. And there's like colorful carpets and tents and stuff all around. The reason I didn't like this one is because of the sandstone. It seemed to give it too much of a, I don't know, it just seemed like a wrong feel of material to use. However, I might end up still using it for the walls. Down here, I wasn't going to leave this as sandstone. This would be turned into something else, the floor here. That was just a placeholder. I was mostly trying to judge the wall and how the city would interact with the wall. So if we go over here, you'll see I'm building the inner walls, which is where there's a garden in the middle of the castle, the top part, like the royal palace part, in the movie with the giant tree. And I'm thinking of putting the giant tree kind of off-center, you know, like right here. There's a couple of towers. It's all overgrown, so you probably won't even notice that with how overgrown I'm going to make it. You know, that kind of a thing. And I was wondering, I chose white stained clay here, hardened clay, and I think it looks better. This is just a mock-up for an idea. I'm going to get rid of this. I don't really like it, especially with this here. I was just trying to integrate another kind of block because the stone doesn't really fit right. I used the stone here, and it still doesn't fit right to me, but I need a block that has steps. So I think I'm going to have to use wood and use stone for the walls. I think that's what I'm going to do. And so from the inner wall, there's going to be towers kind of coming up off of it. And this is actually going to go up, but there's going to be a little bit of a roof coming out this way. Just a little bit, probably about to here, you know, from there to here. And then it's going to break out, you know, have overgrown trees coming out. And I just wanted to see people's opinion. The idea for this is to get like a continent-sized map for PvP, such as like ultra hardcore. You could do Hunger Games style with it, but I wouldn't say, it seems like it's going to be a little bit too big for that, and I'm going to have, you're going to be able to farm resources out of this place. Um, there's going to be iron, gold, copper, or not copper, sorry, thinking Feed the Beast. Iron, gold, coal, um, emeralds, diamonds, everything. And it's, I want it to be kind of like you start with nothing survival type, as if you were playing ultra hardcore, down in a regular generated world, but it's on the floating city. And that's probably ambitious because it would have to be, I think that this is even too small for that, but I'm wanting to see how big it gets once I put the other two levels, no, the other one, two, the other three levels off of it. And there is going to be an outer wall here. So it's probably, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it this thick or maybe like three more. I don't know yet. But it's going to go all the way around. And there's going to be a roof over that one. But then there's going to be a path on the roof for like, guard posts and stuff. And there's going to be periodic spires and things like that. And if you look at the pictures, none of this is symmetrical. The only symmetricality about it is that it's a circle, and you can divide a circle in any which way. And I know that this inner wall isn't a circle, it's got kinks in it there, and, all over. I didn't want it to be an exact circle. I kind of wanted it to be uneven, because that gives a more, well, I guess this isn't the place you'd walk, I'm going to put grass there. It gives it a more, if it's not the same spacing, it gives it a more decrepit look, I suppose. Like it's falling apart, and nature has taken over. And this was just an idea of a way to get down. I wanted to put a ladder here, and I went a little bit overboard with it. I'm going to take it down. Don't worry, it looks ugly as hell. I will probably do something like a banister with a ladder down. There'll probably be two ladders, a ladder down here and a ladder down here, and make them simpler. Because this is just sticking out way too much. But I do want to get something to break up this wall, and I think it can't just be those things. The water. But yeah. Another reason for these videos is not just to show you my progress on this, even though nobody really knew about this, so it's not really progress, it's a new thing. And I'm probably going to change this tower to some other kind of material. Probably, I might make it wood. I don't know yet. I might make it cobblestone because that looks more broken up. I don't know yet. And the mushrooms are going to go. They don't fit. But anyway, the other reason for making these videos is to tell you what's going on. I recently got back from vacation in Texas, seeing my family, 4th of July, all that stuff. And when I got back, I realized that I had actually run out of my footage for Inferno Mines. So I have to make more of that. And I'm gonna get on it, but I'm a little addicted to a new game called Cube World. It's an alpha, and I'm trying to see if I can make a video of it. It is pretty much an alpha, there's not really, I mean, I can show you everything, and there is a lot to show. It's just that there's not a lot to do as far as on-camera stuff. It's kind of grindy, and I would have to record like an entire session, which is hours and hours for me. I like how that gets brighter. Anyway, and that, I could do that and then just edit down to the interesting parts, but the problem is that's a lot of work for something that's not going to be a regular series. At least not yet. It might turn into it. If they start updating regularly, I will make it a regular series. If people want, I'll certainly play it. If people don't want me to make it a series, I'll just play it off camera. But I also wanted to ask if anybody wanted to play Cube World. You can give me a message. If anybody wants to play Minecraft or anything like that, give me a message. But Cube World is one of those games that needs multiple people. So I was kind of hoping that I could get some people to join me. It's a little bit hard to get. Apparently they're having problems with their server. Too many people downloading stuff. But, you know, if somebody has it, shoot me a message if you want to play. And we can record it or we cannot record it, doesn't matter to me. And if you want to play anything else, it's fine too. I don't really have people who have computers. I don't have real life friends who have computers that are fast enough to even play Minecraft regularly. Like, if they set it up, and there, you know, nothing else is going on their computer, and they make sure that there's no updates going on in the background, they could probably get away with playing, but they couldn't record as well. So I don't bother asking them. I play with them sometimes, but it's usually things, simpler things, and it's usually on console, not on computer. So if people want multiplayer, they're more than free to join in. So that's basically the overview of what this episode was about. The series, I think I'm going to call it Planet Block. Yeah, Planet Block. So, quick overview. We're going to make a map, Laputa. It's going to be kind of the size of a continent, really big. That is the smallest circle in it. There are 3 others radially out, so it'll probably, there's the center, it'll probably come out at least to here, if not farther. Because there's those 3 radial things, and then there's an outer wall, which has space and paths coming out. It's pretty intensive build. It's going to be big, and I'm hoping it'll be big enough. If not, I'll just make it bigger. And then second point was new game. Inferno Mines is coming. I will record it. Don't worry. There's probably going to be a Bioshock up pretty soon as well. And then I will try and see if I can get a Cube World up. A lot of people are doing it on YouTube though, so yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of don't want to have it as a tutorial one, but we'll see. We'll see. And if anybody wants to play multiplayer stuff, feel free to message me. I guess I can go ahead and give my junk email in the description. It does go to my phone, so I will see it, but it's my junk email, so I don't feel bad if I'm ignoring people. So you can message me there, or you can message me on YouTube. It's up to you. So I will see you guys later. Peace.